can be doing graffiti and be featured by the BBC. So Nasreen Hosseini, she's a vet that studied at Kabul University. She grew up in Iran as a refugee, but returned to Afghanistan for her studies and later moved to Canada with a scholarship to study animal health. So she's just working in Canada and is Afghan, so that makes her one of the top 100 most influential. Razma, an accomplished musician, plays an instrument that is usually reserved for men. Which instrument is that? Basira Peyram, working for LGBTQ rights in Afghanistan. Now living in Ireland, she continues to campaign for recognition of Afghanistan's LGBTQ plus community and their human rights and freedoms. Rohila. Schoolgirl Rohila has been affected by the exclusion of girls from Afghan secondary schools since the return of the Taliban. Her favorite subjects are science and English, and she longs to be able to join her brothers on the school run each morning. That's it. Doesn't say anything that she's done or if she's protested or she's just a generic Afghan schoolgirl. Sahar, one of many young women who want to play football in Afghanistan, but they're no longer able to. It's a tragedy. Fatima Soltani, after she started mountain climbing as a hobby in 2019, Fatima made it her mission to encourage an interest among Afghan girls in mountaineering. So important for Muslim women in Afghanistan to climb mountains. Malala, of course, the original shill, the original stooge. Yuma from Turkmenistan. She was forced to leave Russia following the backlash to her participation in a supermarket advert that featured her family in a celebration of gay pride. So inspiring. Huda Khamoush from Iran, and her job title is, period campaigner. What does period campaigner mean? Let's read. Menstruation is not a taboo was the awareness program that women's rights activist Huda Khamoush ran in Afghan schools to promote open conversation about periods. Oh, okay, so... oh my God, periods. Muslims can't talk about periods. Oh, so taboo. Oh my God. As a Muslim man, I don't even understand what that is. I'm just completely befuddled by the concept of menstruation. I mean... so imagine like your entire mission in life is to promote conversations about menstruation. So important. I mean, she's a shiro for sure. I mean, the idea that Muslims are so incompetent or they're so backwards and you have to have these kinds of activists, liberal activists who teach Muslims basic things like, oh, menstruation is not some kind of evil thing, you stupid Muslims. People on the West have to, like, wow, she's really making a change. She's really making a difference in so many Muslim lives. All of these Muslims who just have no clue what menstruation is and they don't talk about it publicly and openly like we do. Yeah, because in the US, everywhere I go, anytime I step out of my house, someone is talking about menstruation. That's how open and free thinking this society is. I go to the grocery store. Oh, how are you, ma'am? Are you on your period, ma'am? Oh, is this the menstruation corner of the department store? We're just openly going to talk about menstruation. And this is so important, in the free, liberal, democratic West. If you're not talking about your period, you're not civilized. So this list is supposed to be about inclusivity. Look how many Muslims we've included. But in actuality, this list is an attack on Muslims. It's an attack on Islam. It's a way to psychologically manipulate Muslims to take such figures as their ideal. People who they explicitly say are trying to completely reset, restructure, reinvent society, culture, religion, and everything. So this is very subversive, and Muslims just need to be smart and recognize what's going on so that we don't fall for these kinds of cheap tricks. And, the whole idea of women's leadership, this is something that Muslims have to be very clear on. Whenever we're talking about empowerment and leadership, go and review the hadith about women's leadership. What did the Prophet ﷺ say about women's leaders? And that's a homework assignment for you, because I want you to go, and it's not just one hadith. Multiple hadith about women's leadership and what the world is like when women are in charge. So go and learn what Islam teaches about this. Maybe some people will even post it in the comments below, but try to recognize what is real prophetic wisdom. what is real prophetic wisdom about this issue? And it's expressed very clearly in the hadith. Right, so that's real prophetic wisdom, not these, compassionate imams that claim that they're teaching prophetic wisdom. Meanwhile, they're sitting side by side with some of these activists, co-paneling with them, having events featuring these same kinds of feminist activists, and claiming that these are role models for the Muslim community. That's not prophetic wisdom. Go review the hadith on women's leadership, and then you'll get a real dose, inshallah, of prophetic wisdom. That's all I have for you today. Assalamu alaikum.